Good evening, everyone. It's been a nice day. I have to admit, it's been a nice couple of days. I haven't done much, I'll admit. I've been a little little silent because I've been watching a shit show that continues to show itself concerning Arc and Atlas and Studio Wildcard and whatnot. And let's make something very clear. I'm probably not going to get off this boat, pun intended, uh, anytime soon. I'm probably not going to. The truth of the matter is that Arc is now on the back burner, and it's not even something they consider worth their time to talk about. And when I say that, I mean it. Chat is no longer working on Arc. Jesse and Jeremy no longer working on Arc. In fact, if you go to Jat's Twitter page, that up really quick. But you go to Jat's Twitter page. Let's bring that. What I mean. Jet, live producer and lead community manager at Grapeshot Games, Silly Atlas. He's no longer working on Arc. They're not working on Arc anymore. Jet was probably the only name that people really had a working knowledge of, aside from Jeremy and Jesse, obviously. Jet's now at Grapeshot, which is a wildcard subsidiary. Now, allegedly, and I'm going to say this right now, allegedly, Jeremy and Jesse may have started Grapeshot Games in an attempt to get away from Snail Games. This is an allegation that has gone around, and I haven't seen too much proof to support it one way or the other, but at the same time, I haven't seen very much proof to say otherwise. No, Snail Games did end up buying out Wildcard because of Jeremy Stiglitz being an idiot. So Grapeshot Games could actually be an attempt to distance themselves from Snail Games. The Snail Games isn't going to tolerate that. They're not going to tolerate that. I'd actually like to see a little bit of information on Grapeshot, because that would give us a good idea of excuse me, what we are dealing with here. Is it an actual attempt to get away from Snail Games? It could be. I don't think it is. I think they're trying to obfuscate exactly who and what is on right now. And by the way, I am officially, I am waiting on my new graphics card, which means I will be able to start streaming video games once again. So excited. Fortunately, the 1060 may be dying. It hasn't been doing very good to begin with, but 3 gigs of VRAM on a 1060, not going to be a lot, and it's starting to take over some of the RAM. You know, even with 16 gigs of RAM, that's still not going to be enough. Sorry, I'm in the middle of trying to get the microphone perfect. Moved things around a little bit today, but I do have a 590 coming, and I'm gonna have some new games to actually play and stream. With the 590, I am getting a, what is it? I get the Division 2. I'm not sure if I get into the beta for that, but I have that, and that's okay. I had no intention of spending money on the Division itself. I was not looking at buying that in the least. But anyways, so back to what I was talking about. Jet no longer with Studio Wildcard, allegedly, going by his Twitter. He's with Grapeshot. Let's check out Zane. I don't know who any of these guys are. So, a QA lead guy. You're not a number. Now, Jesse does say he's still with Wildcard, but he doesn't seem very active on Twitter to begin with. Um, but all of his posts have been about how, Atlas and all that. So, and they're trying to keep people, interested. Hopefully the upcoming update will reset the resources. So they are spawning again, eh, chat? You broke it, so resources aren't spawning? Are you serious? Don't get me wrong. We knew that something like that would happen because Arc did it. Arc's had that before. But let's go to the dev tracker. Now, this has survived the Arc. This is the Arc forums, the Arc website itself. The last post by a developer, by any Wildcard employee, was 5 days ago by Eli, assistant community manager. Let's open up Steam. They're not really active on Steam, so there might not. Yeah, okay. So they aren't active on Steam. Let's look at Reddit. Nothing on Reddit. Let's go to Twitter. And it's just literally spam by Jat about Atlas. Spam by Jat about Atlas. How are you going to sit there and tell the players we care about Arc? We're going to keep it going, but you're not talking about it. You're not doing a damn thing about it. In fact, let's it's shits and giggles. Let's go over to the Arc forums. And announcements. Community Crunch 1 hour ago. Let's see. December 17th by Jen. Monday by Jen. The last thing was by Jen on Monday, apparently. And you're going to tell us that you are going to keep this game going. No, you're not. It's a reskin of Arc. Atlas is a reskin of Arc. Everything that you do in Atlas is literally what you do in Arc. They took Arc and they decided, let's make it pirates. There is not going to be any type of future for Arc after this. Maybe when Atlas completely bombs, maybe they'll look at Arc 2 again. Oh, we're coming back to Arc, guys. We told you there's a future. By the way, it's Arc 2. Future of Arc. I mean, let's make this very clear. Let's look at this. This comes from Chris Willoughby, who is apparently now the swinging dick in charge of Arc. Given the Atlas announcement, I wanted to stop by and share some additional insight into where we're at and where we're headed with Arc over the next few months. The Arc team is as big as it's ever been. As big as it's ever been. At least half the talent, and I use that term very loosely when dealing with Wildcard, because they're not talented at all. They're talented at feeding you a bunch of bull crap, and that's it. But at least half their talent went to Atlas. Half their talent went to Atlas. Let's see. The Arc team is as big as ever. It's made up of key members behind Arc, hires from the mod community, because the modders were the most competent people they could hire. Let's make that very clear. The modders are the most competent people they've hired. And seasoned veterans with experience working on a variety of other games and MMOs. And yet, the game, Atlas, looks like absolute garbage. Arc plays like absolute garbage. We have veterans, but we also want to be treated like a small indie company. Please don't criticize us too hard. TLC 2, Archaeology, Extinction Chronicles, Small Tribes, Enforcement, and of course, Extinction were built with this team. That explains it. That explains why it's a, hot dumpster fire. One of the more exciting things to us is that we found ways to bring new wrinkles and ideas to Arc while continuing to refine and expand on the things that made it a hit. They found new ways to screw up, is what they're saying. And they're excited about that. bring new wrinkles. We found new ways to mess up and screw up. You're very proud of that. That's absolutely holy mother of Christ. From the dynamic components, of the archaeology event to the brand new mechanics created for orbital supply drops and tameable titans from Extinction. Orbital supply drops are absolute garbage. They're garbage. It sucks to run them. You have such poor pathing for many of the creatures, and many of the spots have are right next to drop-offs, so you have to bring flyers in order to go around the periphery and find out where some of those things are. There's no marker on your HUD. There's no, glowing green arrow saying, hey, this guy needs to die before this wave completes. Nothing. If you bring a large creature, trample damage, you damage the OSD by yourself. Doesn't matter what you bring. OSDs are absolute garbage. They are a hot mess. And tameable titans. Yes, titans, the most broken things that were put into the game. People meshing with titans. People killing people inside closed bases with titans. Yes, a great idea by Studio Wildcard again. Currently, the ARC team is hard at work resolving issues introduced with Extinction. Literally, they're hard at work trying to fix Extinction. Everything they broke with Extinction. Bola's not working. Headshot multiplier is not working. They're trying to fix it. Item bugs, creature balance, including Titans and Mechs, OSD balance, console graphical quality, and stability. Also PC, because that's that's not just on consoles, ladies and gentlemen. And issues related to the dev kit. In addition, we've carved out key members of the team to tackle long-standing desires. Starting with the integration of Structures Plus, something we've been asking for years, and you ignored it. And now that people were very pissed about this expansion, you decided, let's placate them finally. And the rework of the Kibble Tree. Again, something we asked for a while ago. And you screwed up Extinction, so now you need to shut us up. A few other members of the team are tackling Winter Wonderland, which is their, Raptor Claws and whatnot. And don't get me wrong, actually, it wasn't that bad this time. But they can only go up. And the awaited return of Raptor Claws due next week. As we wrap up this wave of work, more and more members of the ARC team will be moving on to tackling quality of life issues and bugs. We love ARC as much as you do. I don't think anybody really loves ARC anymore. In fact, I don't want to see something really. Steam chart or ARC. November. Let me bring this over. So, in November, it did see 22,000 players, come back in because, new expansion. And you can see that in December they had that massive, every time there's an expansion, pretty much there's a huge number of people that come in. Or something new they announce. Okay, people come in, but I could go through here and probably pick out exactly where new stuff is announced and when it and point to how that gives a small boost only for them to continue to lose it. So, for example, they had the 12,000 peak average in December. 2,000. They gained 2,000 over that, and then it's just 1, 2, 3, 4. I think June 2018 ARC. June 20. I kind of want to see what was announced. That might have been the Extinction Chronicles. No. I don't know what they announced then, but they had 2 months, and then 2 months of nothing. October, hey, new expansion is announced. It comes out, and then they're back to dropping. They're back to losing. And are very excited for all the possibilities that lay before us. Heading into the new year, we will begin to plan out what's next and determine what the best steps are for the game from a content perspective. Rest assured, whether it's more TLC, new DLC, new mechanics, or new modes, we will be continuing to support Arc through 2019. Beyond that, we're starting early discussions internally about what the next generation of Arc could look like. They're talking about Arc 2. Now, during early access, I need to look at let me pull it up and see if I can see Arc 2. It was like the CEO or the president or something like that. Here we go. So it was during a according to Jesse, from Jesse, I think as we get down the line over the next year or two, Ark needs to have a sequel at some point. It's definitely going to be on our minds about when it's the right time to do something like that. Now, this was roughly, it was slightly after they came out of early access, when they launched. And people weren't happy about this because we still had 2 DLCs. By this point, Aberration had already been delayed until December, right? So they're announcing, yeah, we're going to do a sequel to the game. Are you effing serious right now? Are you serious? That was the general thought process. So a lot of people were not happy about it. Actually. I'm trying to find it because I actually do want to. I do want to bring this to the fore about Arc 2. Because it was in a like what's it called, an interview, maybe with Kotaku. I can't remember. Arc sequel. Bingo, here it is. All right, so bring this back over. So Jesse Rapchick is who they're talking to. Jesse Rapchick says, and this is in November 13th, 2017. Okay, so this was in November 2017. I thought it was during early access. Clearly, I was wrong. I hate when I don't want this playing. Why do you play it? Close. I don't want to see it. I think down the line, over the next year or two, blah, blah, blah. So they're talking about an expansion. They hadn't even launched their second of 3 DLCs. It was already, once again, delayed. They'd already announced the delay by a couple of months. That's what they're planning. We'd like to thank everyone for their long-standing support, and we look forward to the adventure ahead. Well, it doesn't seem to be doing too well. Apparently, and we're going to go to Atlas now. Atlas, Steam is now refunding people for Atlas, even if you have more than 2 hours. They are manually refunding you. Now, generally speaking, if you try to refund it, it'll come back and say you have more than 2 hours on their automatic system. And they will manually review it after a bit, and they might give it back to you. If you don't write like you're autistic, pretty much, they'll refund you. Well, the problem for them is that apparently this might be a universal thing. If you are trying to refund Atlas because it's a hot pile of garbage, you're probably going to get it. So this is happening, by the way. This is happening. And they have to be scrambling. And that would explain why chat has been very, very vocal, why he's been spamming Twitter, among other things, with, quote, news, unquote, of Atlas. That's why. So, so when you start to say, oh, Atlas is failing, they always point to, oh, 40,000 players are playing. It's really failing. Congratulations, you had 40,000 players playing. 40,000. What about in 2 months when it's still a hot piece of garbage? Well, it's early access. Doesn't matter. You're going through even worse. You are going through even worse. Atlas is going through even worse early access launch than Arc did. Arc was a lot cleaner than this was. Atlas is not their first game. Their second game is worse than their first game. How do you pull that off? By being incompetent, obviously. And again, if we go to Twitter, Jesse, he's trying to keep the hype going. We go to Jeremy. Oof. We go to Jeremy. And, nothing since December 21st. He hasn't been talking at all. He has not been talking at all. I wonder why that might be. Wonder why they might not be talking. Maybe it's because they've fucked up. They jacked up. They messed up. Let's look at who else is at Grape Shot Games. Can't look at Rock Paper Shotgun, unfortunately. Can't find out who's with them. You know you messed up. Okay? You know you messed up. When Newsweek is now talking about it. I didn't even see this. Newsweek picked up on this. When the trailer for Atlas debuted at the Game Awards in early December, players were losing their minds. Grape Shot Games, famous for the dinosaur farming simulator Ark Survival Evolved, dropped the trailer out of nowhere. It teased epic sea battles, just like Ark teased epic dinosaur battles, fights with mythical beasts, and the kind of pirate adventure gamers have only dreamed of. Sea of Thieves promised to let players feel like Jack Sparrow on the open seas and instead delivered a monotonous experience without any swashbuckling charm. Atlas got off to a rocky start, with Grape Shot pushing its launch back multiple times. That's generally a sign of trouble. When the game finally released to players willing to fork over the $25, they were left with disappointment. Player customization was limited, though you could make random body parts larger to look like a homunculus. Glitches and bugs were everywhere, with monsters phasing out of the environment or being impossible to kill. Ark still has that, by the way. Ark, ready for release! Ready for release! Worth $60, right? No, it still has those problems too. The epic battles promised in the trailer were nowhere to be seen because everybody was in the middle of the ocean dying. Replaced with a bare-bones version of sea-inspired Ark. Players actually found that by pressing different buttons on the menu, they could access an Ark menu screen that mentions an ocean tile set. This led to rumors online that Atlas was supposed to be an expansion pack for Ark, but was repurposed into its own game. You know what? Yeah, it's rumors. But there's a lot of support for it. There's actually quite a bit of support for it. Steam users who purchase the game can get a refund even if they played for more than 2 hours. Reddit user Corruptiz sent in a ticket to Valve and after a few automated denials, managed to find a customer support representative willing to give his money back. It's unclear if other users were able to get refunds, but the Reddit community massively upvoted the post. Probably a good indication that something's wrong there. Is Atlas dead? Now, here's where they're probably going to say, no, it's not dead. But the fact that Newsweek is even talking about this is probably a good indication of something. If you read the comments on Reddit and Discord, You'd think Atlas was a massive failure, with glitches, poor company communication, and one of the most disappointing launches since No Man's Sky. This is No Man's Sky 2.0, by the way. It's no wonder that this is the community's impression. The pirate adventure was in the Steam top 10 charts for the first few days, but has now disappeared from the chart. I actually, really quick, Steam charts, and yeah, it's not in there. I'll bring it over. So you have CS:GO, Dota 2, PUBG, Rainbow Six Siege, Grand Theft Auto, Path of Exile. Remember, Path of Exile just had a new new league start, so kind of obvious that it would be up there. Rust, TF2, Rocket League, Football Manager 2019. So there you go. Warframe moved down to 11. Ooh, it's been doing really well. Then Ark and Atlas. That should that should tell you all you really need to know. Ark and Atlas are right next to each other. Ark should be doing really well according to like all the positive and upbeat White Knights. It just had a new expansion. It just had a new DLC. It's healthy, and yet apparently it's barely doing better than Atlas, that had one of the worst launches in gaming history. Continues to be an absolute abortion. I mean, you're talking about a game that legitimately, you wonder if it might survive. You have to. I think they'll push it out into a finished state, quote unquote, as in they'll leave early access just to say, look, we're 2 for 2 in leaving early access. We're doing better than pretty much everybody else. Conveniently ignoring the fact that, both games will be an absolute buggy mess. Ark has been out of it for 18 months now, and it's a buggy piece of crap. Atlas will be in the same state, and they're talking about Ark 2. So what's going to happen? Is everybody from Grapeshot Games going to come back to Studio Wildcard? Just kidding, guys. We're back. No, that's probably what they're due. That's probably what they're going to do, but it's not going to be acceptable. So let's see. But has now disappeared from the chart. Steam reviews are overwhelmingly negative, with players shouting about how they fell for the hype. No goddamn... Okay, I'm going to say this right now. There are streamers that when I watch them, it's very difficult not to get into the same feel. It's very hard not to duplicate the absolute excitement they have for the game. You watch Ziggy D or Raze or Mathel for Path of Exile, it's very difficult not to, be excited with them. And when Ziggy does his own, this early access game, he's very excited about it. He loves it. It's very hard not to feel the exact same thing. However, the problem is that many streamers are given a better version of the game, a better demo than what's going to come out. And so what they see is a much better, demo than what you'll see at launch. It's going to happen. And so you're going to have to accept. We are all going to have to accept that there's a good chance we're going to have an absolute shit show happen from this. It's going to be bad. There are still a lot of players exploring the world of Atlas. According to Steam charts, there are over 48,000 users currently logged in the game, with an average of about 36,000 since launch. Many of them are Chinese, by the way. There's been a huge issue with the Chinese players doing in Atlas what they did in Ark. Raiding people, destroying everything, because they're very well organized. Chinese tribes in Ark are very well organized, but they also aimbot, hack, DDoS the servers, etc. This is undeniable. Even Wildcard said, yeah, it looks like this is the case. That's part of why they it didn't happen right away, but they did eventually turn off the initial cross-arc raiding. And why? Because people got fed up of the Chinese tribes destroying everything while they were sleeping. how are the early demos better than the actual release? Well, what ends up happening is they have two versions of a game. They have the one that's going to go out to um, streamers, content creators. And the intent of that is to give you what looks like a very good play, right? You see this at E3 and whatnot when you see the trailers and the like, or you see the live gameplay demo, and it's a lot better than what you get when it actually hits Steam. What was the game? No Man's Sky did this. Diablo 3 did this. A lot of game companies have done this where they use the hype of content creators and whatnot to get that initial influx of capital as they put out an absolute, a travesty of a game. It's happened before, it'll happen again, and that's exactly what Wildcard has done. As much as they want to say, yeah, we're Grape Shot Games, we're not Studio Wildcard, it's Studio Wildcard. Okay, let's make that clear. It is Studio Wildcard. They're doing the exact same stuff that they've been doing the entire time. Let's see. The game is in early access, a term thrown around by developers who plan on releasing an unfinished product. Those that bought and expected to see bugs and problems, while the internet carrion saw a chance to rip apart something new. On Twitch, streamers have been playing Atlas non-stop. For a brief period after launch, it was the most watched game on the platform, but is now sitting at number 4. Huge content creators like Shroud and Forsen have been playing the game to their tens of thousands of viewers, making it even more popular. They might be enjoying it because it is janky and hard to understand, but they are still playing it. Clips of Forsen dealing with the stream snipers who don't really want to keep playing have shot up to the top of Livestream Fail subreddit, giving the game even more coverage. Again, Forsen and Shroud and whatnot, there's a good chance they're being paid by Wildcard to do this. Remember, Wildcard pays modders to fix their buggy game. They eventually hire many of them. That's how the Center and Ragnarok became official maps. They hired the talent that actually made them. I would not be surprised to see that, and if it's true, then that's going to be something that needs to be talked to the FTC about, because that's illegal, kids. You have to announce that. Be that as it may. I could be wrong, but I don't think I'm going to be on this case. Atlas had a rocky launch, but there's no way you can say the game is dead. No, nobody's saying the game is dead. Nobody is really saying the game is dead. What they're saying is it's an absolute travesty. It's an abortion. It's a dumpster fire. It's everything but dead. And again, we can go to the Steam charts. We can see Atlas doing pretty decently, It's doing pretty decently. It's not dead. And maybe it'll get better. It might get better. I'm not disputing that could happen. What I am saying, however, is that this is literally what you should expect from Studio Wildcard. This is what you should expect from Studio Wildcard. Okay? It's not going to get better. And actually, I kind of wanted to bring this up because let me bring up the images for this. They take it down because people started to point it out. Oh, they may have taken. Oh, nope, there it is. Okay, so there we go. So here's Atlas. That's the the picture they put out. Look at the chick on the right. Who does that look like? That looks awfully familiar. It almost looks like oh, come on, really? Come on. Yeah, it's going. Okay, I have to redo it. No. Weird. Arc. Let's try this. Explode. That tab decided to explode. It looks strikingly familiar. She looks like her. Are you seeing the similarity? Huh. Isn't that isn't that odd? Isn't that odd? But they want you to believe it's not a port of Ark. I'm just gonna say, they want you to believe it's not a port of Ark. But even their promotional posters have the same chick in them. Forsen and whatnot are probably playing it because they're being paid by Studio Wildcard to do it. Studio Wildcard's not against doing that. They're not against paying people to do it. I believe there was an issue during Aberration where they were paying some content creators to play their game to hype up Aberration. I have to look into that again. And of course, Jat, you know, Jeremy, let's go to Jat. Go to Jat. Again. Nothing but Atlas because now he officially works for Sail the Atlas. Or, let me see their I'm trying to find the website. Really do want to. I do want to. You cannot tell me that Atlas is good for Ark. You know, I've seen a lot of excuses brandied about as to why it's acceptable for what they go. It's they wouldn't pay for a quality control team, a competent, an actual quality control team for Ark. They didn't pay for community managers who actually gave a damn about the community. They didn't pay for anybody to. They didn't pay for support. Their GMs were absolute garbage. Many of them were Snail Games GMs who were in the pocket of Chinese tribes. Do you think it's going to be better for Atlas? They now have 2 games, 2 sources of income, quote unquote. If they weren't willing to do it when they had 1 game, 1 source of income, what makes you think that now that they have 2, they're going to suddenly put extra money into stuff? I want people to answer that for me. They've had years to do it, and they haven't. They've had years to put money and to put their, put their money literally where their mouth is. Oh, we're going to do this. Cool. Do it. We'll do it later. And they never do. How do you expect? You're always going to have that group of people who are too stupid to understand that they're being played, and they're going to. It's not because they're stupid. I shouldn't say that. That's not fair, right? Even I'll say that's not. Here's their forums. Their for Atlas. BLDX is over here. BLDX, I mean, S Squadron. S Squadron's over here. Huh. Test, you're gonna make me. What the Oh, I'm gonna have to go and get those crabs. Oh, I'm gonna start ganking crabs and anyways, but where was I? But everybody's moved over. Someone answer that for me. How do you think you're going to be allowed? How do you think you're going to be able to actually tell people? And do you think they're going to? I'm gonna play a bit more Ark, actually. Um, Mainly because I've been out all day. So let's go over to Ark. Play a bit of Ark. This is all I really wanted to talk about. Everybody's moved over to Grape Shop pretty much. Everybody's been talking about. They've all moved over to Atlas. There's it's not even an attempt by them to say anything else. They're not going to try and hide it. Up audio going. Tell me if it's too loud. Now, given I am still on the 1060, I'm not going to be on the 590 until Saturday. Saturday, Sunday. Amazon says it'll be Saturday, but it could on getting here. New Keurig reuse coffee, but I don't want it plastic. I kind of care about the environment. I kind of. Gonna get some tea right now. Pure Leaf Tea House Collection. Sicilian lemon and honeysuckle. It's actually really good. Normally I don't go. Actually, pretty good. Make more gunpowder. Because I need more. Oh, I have to feed and rename him. Name. But I should probably doing like 5 different things right now. There we go. Anyways, I got my Quetzal. That's new. Actually, really quick. Are encumbered. I think I have 1,000 now. 1,000. Excellent. This means actually, but not sure. Nope, there's none. Dang, I thought there were. Sad fates. Oh, I should get some actually get some get some scissors. I should go ahead and stock the auctioneer. I don't see what I could buy. Have an auction house on the server, so kind of fun. Under 14, not worth. Check out saddles. I think there was actually an Seneketzel saddle with like 150 armor or something like that. Kind of wanted to buy it. Ketzel platforms. There we go. 35 armor. 64, holy crap. There's one, it's 30,000 for 64. Yeah, nothing worth buying right now, so I just grab the, let's actually, you have it, okay. Crystal, onyx, and some scrap. Make, oh. Guys. Hi. Going to go crazy. I'm actually gonna go. I need to push it up. Sure. Try and force up. There he is. Just a weird creature. It's like just a weird creature. Really good against corrupted, but other than that, parts. Sure. I think I brought them all. They got to be on the Argent. Yep. We'll take the Argent out. A little bit of looking around. Why did I up? Level you. 60. You don't want to get too close to those because the Velonosaurs can shoot you off the off your mount, which is stupid. And now I came out the west side, which will put me right next to the sulfur fields, which actually leads to being very, very. Yeah. Deal with it. Actually, I really should have made this first. Red, the red. So the tiers for this, unlike in like normal drops, it's blue, yellow, red, purple in terms of easiest to hardest. Alrighty. That Argent is about to fight. Slow as hell. Alright, so I'm gonna put together a combat Argent. I don't have one. I actually don't have a combat Argent, and that's actually a good thing to have. How like the OSDs and everything are. So it's slow as hell, but actually these are really good to kill. These things give out a lot of experience. Like, they give out nothing else. You don't get any resources. You don't get anything except experience from them. Spider coming over. I'll just keep leveling up damage. Actually, not. I need to be able to kill things. Now, see, I should keep damage wherever it is. 1, 2, 3. Totally should. Oh, there's a defense unit. Okay, I got the Rex kill. That's all the real ones. A couple more Rexes over there. It's level 90. That's actually quite a chunk of. I can. It doesn't hurt to have an actual combat Argent. What was that Rex doing? I should go kill a force. Forces and give me resources. Bring melee damage up to like 1,000. Get levels. Thinking of kill sentient forcers. Forcers for the element dog. I really do need. Over here. Really. You can actually harvest these lights and everything. Get element dust, crystal, electronics, crystal, and element. I believe you might get some scrap metal on it. Oh, that guy's enraged. After me. So when those things are enraged, they deal more damage. I think they take reduced damage as well, but they're aggressive. So you try and stay away from them. Yeah, that little cloud around their head. Shin. Helps sleeping, unfortunately. Always fun. I love Lister. They're the first real creature they put into the game that was... As I said, I'll use the I'll use this Argent for combat. What forces right now? It's really weird. Forces crawling all over the place. Up walls, down walls. I mean, they're just all over the place. There's one. Lovely. What's better is you can pick them up and just carry them like that. Plus, even though they're not biological, you still eat them and you still get the frickin' buff that heals your Argent. I don't understand how that works, but okay, well, I'll work with it. Enforcer. Height and to get stamina. And you know people are working on mods to make this game, make this expansion not garbage. You know they are. I was built there. Scout. Go wrong with grabbing some more just after hit a second. I don't need it, but it's good to have it. What level? Oh, it's fine. I would prefer not to piss those. I don't need it. You know, Mr. Turtle, I was trying not to kill him. That. At least my damage is going up. Might do a blue drop actually. If I find one, I'll run it. Big armor's that. Go. Go. Not bad. Doing a little bit of damage. Not enough to really matter, but still. It's max level for those 180 on the server. Take down everything. Guys have a violence. They're pretty good. Paladin's a pretty big guy. I like him. Sure, Paladin's tribe. Could be wrong. Could be wrong. Oh, this will be quite a bit of experience actually. 32. 32. It's not going to be as much. As I said, I'll get him up to like 1,000 melee. As I said, those defense units are actually pretty good for killing. Good for experience. But all they're there for. They're a pain to take down, but when they go down, you get experience. Oh. Corrupted Dilo down. They got some decent damage now. Oh, sir. To 120. I grab the blueprints for like if they're 150 or above. think that's actually shields protected node. Yeah, if I wanted to be able to do this, I would need a. Oh wait, I have a crossbow. You know what? I'm gonna try it. There we go. You know what I'm gonna do? We'll actually attack my target. Just get my rifle ammo out of you. There they are. I really do wish that they actually put in like HUD markers or something to show us where things are that need to die. Because they didn't. There's no markers to show us where anything is that needs to die. And because it's purple and the corrupted creatures are also purple, it's going to be a bitch to see them when they're in the they're in the maze. Probably should have brought more ammo. Get him. Ah, crap, I forgot. Chase all you want. Oh! Not even see him sneak up. Oh, here we go. A couple more. That. Oh, now I'm trapped. Get to the main node. That's where they're going for. Going for the main node. I probably should have brought more ammo. Supposed to be only slightly harder than a blue drop. Supposed to be. I don't see anything else. Again, a HUD marker would be terrific. Oh, there's a trach in here. Thinking he was not supposed to be in here. Remaining. One remains. Probably a daggum Dilo, too. Means he's going to be pretty much impossible to find. Like, seriously. Because the corrupted dinosaurs are purple. Element is purple. I think it's this guy. Oh. Hey, I completed that. There's 6 waves. There's not 5 waves. There's 6 waves total. Yep, here we go. Pteranodons. I saw some ground critters running this. At least I thought I did. There's a pteranodon. Come on. Right, you run. It's like they can't get to the central node, so they stop. Again, pathing. Because they didn't plan out the pathing properly. Thankfully, this Argent can't damage it, so... Oh, yeah, I can. Damn it. And again... Trying to find things. Oh. How many are left? 21. Let's do completely random numbers of hostiles that you have to kill. I think this one's actually a decent level. 20. A respectable level. Oh, Stego. Yes. I hate OSDs and whatnot. Absolutely